Greetings, everyone, and welcome. This annual member meeting is an opportunity to learn about Wild Ones as an organization and to hear about the wonderful work that is happening across the nation. We will have the opportunity to review our mission and finances, our community and chapter accomplishments, and learn about our many partnerships along the way. So here we go. The Wild Ones mission path is clear. We are a movement of people who care about healthy landscapes. We are holding a vision of native plants and natural landscapes thriving in every community. Together, we work and learn, side by side, to create habitat. We scan the field for partners who will strengthen our growing impact. And through education, advocacy, and collaborative action, we are building environmental progress. Respect is at the heart of Wild Ones. We have respect for each other, for nature, and for the earth. We are an inclusive community. Diverse voices and backgrounds make us stronger, and that's why we welcome everyone to join us. We provide evidence-based information because the seeds of change spread most effectively when grounded in data. And we monitor and share the latest of evidence-informed strategies. We're action and growth-oriented. Just dig in. We learn, we grow, and we share our knowledge. So before getting to the state of the organization report, I would like to introduce you to some of the people who are serving and have served over the last year to make Wild Ones the effective organization that it is. Here are the current Wild Ones board officers and their home chapters. Laura Stammerow, Tracy Koenig, Hunter Sagely, and Jeremy Rappaport. And here are all the directors who comprise our 2025 board. Each director serves on multiple committees working strategically to move the mission forward. Peter Dargatz, Meg Delaney, Ken Foster, and Holly Lattiman. David Palmer, Carolyn Miller, and Hillary Robertson Collado. These directors departed the board in 2024, some serving for a number of years. And I'd like to recognize Eric Fuseli, Carl Bonneman, Rita Ulrich, Dave Nye, and Pam Todd. In addition to our elected board, Wild Ones honorary directors serve to advise our programs with topical research. These leaders are distinguished professionals in the field of ecology, entomology, natural landscaping, and horticulture. They help us expand our network and improve our reach. Our current honorary directors are Neil DeBall, Doug Tallamy, and Larry Weiner. I now invite Jen Ainsworth, Wild Ones Executive Director, to introduce the Wild Ones National Staff and our wild lawyers. Jen?
Thanks, Loris. Good evening, everybody. As Loris said, I'm Jen Ainsworth talking to you today from our national headquarters, the Wild Center in Neenah, Wisconsin. I can't believe I recently celebrated my 4th anniversary with Wild Ones. Time has absolutely flown, and I am continually inspired by the enthusiasm and dedication of our members. Your commitment to our mission energizes me every day. We are truly fortunate to have such an amazing team supporting our organization. Over the past year, I have watched each of them pour their heart and soul into our work, including the presentation we're sharing tonight. The Wild Ones staff play a key role in managing our organizational infrastructure, chapter and member services, marketing and outreach, information technology, web development, educational programming, and administrative support. While you'll hear from most of our team today, there are a few individuals working diligently behind the scenes to ensure this meeting runs smoothly. A special thanks goes to Melissa DeHoyas, Marketing and Communications Manager, Rachel Yashub, Executive Assistant, David Prazanik, Technology Manager, and Deanna Sharp, Marketing Coordinator, for their hard work and support. Our incredible group of legal advocates, known as the Wild Lawyers, provide invaluable support to chapters and members on a range of legal matters. They offer guidance on chapter contracts, national legal support, and advocacy efforts, ensuring that our work is well supported. I'd certainly have a lot of explaining to do if I didn't include the following disclaimer. While our wild lawyers provide valuable guidance and support, they are not able to represent chapters or individuals in legal matters. Wild lawyers can provide support and guidance with legal documents and direction on some native plant ordinances or policies. A special thanks to Roseanne Plot for her webinars, Sample Native Plant Ordinance, and for fielding calls from folks who have had the weed police knock on their door. Wild Ones is more than just an organization. It's a thriving community of native planters who are passionate about advocating for native landscapes. Through education and resources, we empower our members with the knowledge and tools to make a difference. Our impact extends from local chapters to national initiatives, ensuring that native plant advocacy and conservation efforts reach as many communities as possible. Wild Ones, guided by the National Volunteer Board, Executive Director, and dedicated staff, empower chapters to succeed. The team ensures strategic alignment, upholds organizational bylaws, maintains brand identity, manages membership infrastructure, and legal compliance. Through national outreach, educational programs, advocacy efforts, and key collaborations, National equips chapters with the resources they need to drive meaningful change in their communities. As you will see today, Wild Ones chapters are the driving force behind our mission, bringing native plant advocacy directly to communities. Chapters engage members, form partnerships, and deliver education and outreach in their local community. All of the chapter efforts are volunteer-led and coordinated by a local volunteer board. Our shared goal to grow a movement for native plants and native natural landscapes require a variety of reliable funding sources to support these activities at each level. Our team is very excited to dive into celebrating the impactful work our chapters have done to advance our mission. However, before we do, I just need to take a few more minutes to review Wild One's 2024 financials and financial position. Our primary funding sources include fundraising, membership dues, donations, program revenue, and non-government grants. Chapters play a vital role, generating 55% of the organization's total funds, while National raises 45%. Fundraisers like plant sales, merchandise sales, and fundraising campaigns account for 46% of revenue, surpassing $700,000, while chapters contributing 71% of those funds. Membership dues, the backbone of the national operations, brought in over $500,000 in 2024, a 39% increase from last year. Donations, our second largest national funding source, provided over $200,000, while program revenue made up 8% of total funds. Together, these efforts fuel our mission, ensuring Wild One's lasting impact. Wild Ones carefully allocates resources to sustain both national operations and local chapter activities. National holds 51% of total expenses, while chapters manage 49%. Personnel costs, fully covered by National, account for 61% of national expenses and 31% of total organizational expenses. Personnel costs include salaries, employee health, and retirement benefits. Fundraising expenses make up 29% of total costs, over $400,000, with 81% of these expenses tied to the cost of plants sold and plant sales supplies and materials. Wild One's programming costs represent 26% of total expenses, supporting education and outreach efforts through printing, publication, design, and editing, grant award programs, workshop costs, and speaker fees. Contracted services include bookkeeping, audits, legal and IT support, accounting for 6% of total expenses. The remaining 8% covers office administration, facilities and maintenance, travel for meetings and training. Investments into staff, programming, and support for the organization ensures a long-term success and impact to our mission. After covering all expenses, Wild Ones ended the year with a net operating revenue of $117,000. This surplus strengthens our ability to reinvest in our mission-driven initiatives, expand programming, enhance our member resources, and sustain long-term financial stability. These strong financials ensure that Wild Ones can continue growing its impact, supporting chapters, and advocating for native plants nationwide. At the close of 2024, Wild One's net assets exceeded $2 million, reflecting a strong financial foundation. Of this, $966,000 resides in chapter financial accounts, while National holds $549,000. Slightly over $550,000 is invested in fixed assets, including the Wild Ones Wild Center building and surrounding property, rebranding costs, and national equipment. These assets ensure our ability to sustain operations, support growth, and continue our mission of promoting native plants and natural landscapes for years to come. Compared to the previous year, our net assets grew by $98,000, demonstrating steady financial progress and our commitment to long-term sustainability. Up next, we have Lisa Olson, Chapter Liaison, who will talk about Wild Ones community involvement, public outreach, and showcase some of the amazing projects and activities organized by our chapters. Lisa?
Thank you, Jen. Wild Ones chapter liaisons provide guidance, resources, and support to our dedicated volunteer chapter leaders, helping them foster collaboration, share best practices, and promote native plants and natural landscapes. At Wild Ones, our grassroots foundation drives everything we do. In 2024, our membership grew significantly. 797 chapter leaders across 129 chapters mobilized over 2,400 volunteers. Together, we organized educational programs, outreach, and activities to provide access to native plants and seeds, transforming yards and public spaces. When people unite around a shared purpose, nature thrives. Our community continues to grow, with membership increasing by 25% in 2024, from 9,649 members to over 12,000. Nearly 5,000 members were new, with over 400 joining through emerging chapters. Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, New York, and Ohio saw the largest growth, and our Front Range, Colorado, Western Pennsylvania area, Greater Cleveland, Ohio, St. Louis, Missouri, and West Cook, Illinois chapters were at the forefront of this expansion. People are seeking meaningful ways to connect with nature and take action in their communities, and Wild Ones provides a path for growth and transformation. This year, Wild Ones enjoyed national media coverage, which helped fuel our membership surge. The New York Times article, "Native Landscapes Can Be Hard to Plant, but Help is Here," featured our Native Garden Design program, which helps people wildscape with ease. The Washington Post has been a strong advocate for natural landscaping and published an article titled "The Lawyer Who Fights for People's Right to Grow Weeds," highlighting Roseanne Plant's inspiring journey from enforcing restrictive weed laws to championing native landscaping rights. These stories brought our mission to the forefront, shining a light on the work we're doing and inspiring new supporters to join us. Locally, over 30 chapters were featured in more than 100 media stories, including newspaper articles, TV, radio, and podcasts. Podcast interviews are up 50% since 2023 and present an exciting new platform for Wild Ones members to share their stories and advance our mission. The Wild Ones Keweenaw chapter has cultivated strong media connections to amplify its conservation efforts. On Earth Day, the chapter's initiative, in collaboration with the Keweenaw Land Trust to pot thousands of native plant seedlings, was featured, providing the community with a hands-on opportunity to support biodiversity. The chapter raised awareness through a children's program on pollinators at the Calumet Public Library, where kids learned about monarch host plants and made seed balls to plant at home. Additionally, the chapters work with the Keweenaw Invasive Species Management Area to combat Japanese barberry was highlighted, offering homeowners who remove invasive barberry $10 coupons for native shrub replacements. Local media stories like these significantly amplify the reach of Wild Ones chapters, driving growth and advancing our mission to restore native habitats and promote sustainable landscaping in communities nationwide. Public garden and habitat restoration projects are central to Wild One's mission, offering hands-on education about native plants and landscapes while enhancing biodiversity, soil health, and water management, fostering collaboration, and deepening our connection to nature. In 2024, Wild One's chapters supported over 300 public gardens, contributing nearly 12,000 native plants, transforming 777,000 square feet of land, and removing over 197,000 square feet of turf. Chapters focus on high visibility projects with strong community engagement potential. Partnering with the local school district and Early Childhood Development Center, the New Jersey Gateway chapter designed 3 garden beds on the Hackensack Center campus, where families and volunteers planted native species, creating a living classroom. Additionally, the chapter sponsored a restoration project at Hoboken's Church Square Park, transforming a 140-foot grassy area into a native plant sanctuary with Girl Scout Troop 10309 and local volunteers. The Pennsylvania Ridge and Valley chapter restored the Nehemiah Project Meadow, a native perennial meadow at a youth center, and developed rain gardens at Leopold Park and the YMCA, featuring native wetland plants and educational signage. Additionally, the chapter adopted a 1-acre floodplain at the Reciprocity Community Food Forest, incorporating rain gardens, pollinator meadows, a riparian buffer, and a community food forest to promote local food access and ecological resilience. Native plants in public spaces benefit everyone, regardless of property ownership. Mountain Laurel, Connecticut chapter members Sue Augustiniak and Patty Decker are transforming the New London Homeless Hospitality Center with native gardens, creating a healthier, more welcoming space. In 2024, the chapter supported 13 native gardens, including donating 25 plants to this project. These projects embody Wild One's vision of native plants and natural landscapes thriving in every community. Wild Ones takes great pride in expanding access to a diverse range of native species. Last year, our chapters distributed more than 167,000 native plants through sale and share events. Several chapters are growing plants, and those plants find their way into both public and home landscapes. In 2024, chapters propagated over 7,500 milkweed plugs and collected 23 pounds of milkweed seed to support monarch conservation. Wild One's support for seed libraries is growing. The Southern Kentucky chapter supplied native plant seeds to 3 seed libraries in Warren County, while the Chesapeake Bay, Maryland chapter supported seed libraries across St. Mary's County and helped launch a seed library at the College of Southern Maryland's La Plata campus. These efforts fostered community engagement through partnerships with local libraries and the college's bee and bird campus programs. As Tracy Stuhler, professor of biology, reflects, this project is about planting seeds for plants, that's true, but we're planting other kinds of seeds too. I hope the partnerships and collaborations that have been started with this initiative continue to grow and flourish as well. Wild One's Green Bay chapter was invited to the Brown County Seed Library's 2nd annual launch party, a family-friendly event celebrating the start of the gardening season. Volunteers spoke to hundreds of attendees about native plants and their role in supporting pollinators, birds, and ecosystems, particularly in the face of climate change. Library, youth group, and school programs offer opportunities for Wild Ones to expand youth engagement, Last year, our chapters partnered with 35 organizations committed to serving younger generations. Wild Ones chapters are working to connect with diverse audiences and meet people where they are. In 2024, volunteers committed over 6,400 hours to public outreach, engaging nearly 300,000 people in conversations about native plants. We are promoting Wild One's mission at farmers markets, festivals, fairs, and home and garden shows. Breweries and tap rooms are popular gathering places, and 7 chapters brought people together to exchange ideas, plants, and seeds at fun events with titles like Bugs and Brews, Pints and Plants, and Drink and Design. People join Wild Ones to connect with others who share their passion for native plants and to find fulfillment in giving back. Our chapters offer volunteers opportunities to share their knowledge and make a tangible impact in their communities. By engaging in meaningful conversations through outreach, advocacy, writing, public speaking, and garden tours, volunteers help shift perceptions of native gardens. We are committed to promoting natural landscapes while enriching the lives of those who contribute. Now, I'm excited to introduce Bessa Schweitzer, a passionate volunteer whose work has inspired others to advocate for native plants through her blog and community involvement. Bessa exemplifies how Wild Ones members share their knowledge and creativity to advance our mission.
Hi, I'm Bessa Schweitzer, a member of the Wild Ones St. Louis chapter. I first heard about Wild Ones about 20 years ago when I got serious about native plants. Wild Ones is a reliable source of information that I needed at the time and continues to be the best way to learn about native gardening that I know of. With Wild Ones, I have met my people. These are people who love to look at plants and talk about plants as much as I do. These are people who care about nature and the environmental issues that are important to me. They think my writing is interesting, they encourage me to speak, and they don't think my garden is too wild. As a Wild Ones member, I have written articles for the Wild Ones newsletter. As part of my chapter, I help with the Native Plant Garden Tour and lead wildflower hikes. Last year, I produced a monthly YouTube video about native gardening tasks based on a book that I wrote, The Wildflower Garden Planner. You can find all 12 videos on our chapter's YouTube page. Now, I would like to read you an essay that I wrote. It's called Show Me Your Native Plants. It is high time that we put native plants in front yards and public spaces so that they can be seen. Native gardens are beautiful and full of life, and we should share them with our community. Front yard gardens can become a gathering spot for neighbors where people stop to talk about plants or bees. My garden often causes people to stop and ask questions about what I'm doing. It is a chance to connect with my neighbors and spread my love of gardening. When I started gardening, it was difficult to find examples of native plant gardens. There was also a lack of information about using natives in a landscape or sources for the plants that I wanted. Now it is much easier to see native plants in gardens, and many more resources are available. Visible Native Gardens is a part of making native landscaping information available. Gardening with native plants is the new cool thing. Those of us with a little experience in native plants have an opportunity to share our knowledge and love with our community. Neighbors are more likely to plant native plants in their yard if they see that someone else is doing it first. It is hard to be the first friend doing anything new. However, growing the second or third native garden in the neighborhood is much easier. When native gardens are established by groups of neighbors, they become more accepted by the neighborhood and are also more beneficial for the wildlife. We can each let our garden become the model of what a modern ideal landscape should look like. Remember that we are ambassadors for native plant landscaping. Each neighbor that we can get to fall in love with a native garden is a step in the right direction. We should be proud of our native landscapes. Native landscaping is a challenging pursuit that requires commitment. Usually, I find working on my garden peaceful, but some days I need to remind myself of why I keep doing it. I'm not only gardening for myself, but also because I believe there's a benefit to the insects and the birds, the plants, the soil, groundwater, and the entire ecosystem. This is one small thing I can do to protect this piece of earth. If I can influence others to do the same, my efforts will be even more effective. Native plants should be on display, where everyone can appreciate them. Thank you.
Many thanks, Bessa, for reminding us how important it is to plant native gardens in visible, accessible spaces where they can spark conversation and create connection. Now, please join me in welcoming my fellow chapter liaison, Debbie Nowak, who will share more about how Wild Ones chapters and members are making a difference.
Thanks, Lisa. As chapter liaisons, we work closely with members to launch new chapters, achieve chartering requirements, work through barriers, and celebrate wins. Each one of these dots on the map represents one or more dedicated members working to create change, restore habitat, and spread knowledge. Wild Ones chapters is where the magic happens, and our network continues to expand. At the close of 2024, Wild Ones had 95 chartered chapters and 35 seedlings across 36 states. Since December, we have added pins to the Woodlawn neighborhood of Southside Chicago, Kansas City, and South Central Texas. It takes a lot of time and effort for our members to add that pin to the map. The decision to launch a new chapter or step into a leadership role with an existing chapter is a personal one, often influenced by a variety of factors. In a local newspaper article, South Bend, Indiana chapter president Jody Migalski shared her story of getting involved during the pandemic. She said a lot of us were feeling hopeless. Doing something positive, reconnecting to the natural world helped a lot. This tangible, positive experience, digging in the earth, nurturing wonderful plants, brought fabulous insects to my yard. After co-founding the chapter in 2021, Jody shared that we now have this amazing group of folks who brought different skills, knowledge, and interests, helping our chapter grow well beyond my expectations. Each year, we hear from dozens of passionate native plant enthusiasts who are exploring opportunities to make a greater impact in their communities. Many of these folks raise their hands to steward the launch of a seedling, what we call our newly planted chapters. In 2024, we welcome seedlings in Southwest Illinois, Kiowa Tri-State in Kentucky, Western New York, Roanoke Region, Virginia, Upstate South Carolina, Fairfield County, Ohio, Chippewa Valley, Wisconsin, South Central Ohio, Newaygo Region, Michigan, Delmarva, Maryland, Omaha Tallgrass Prairie in Nebraska, Mississippi Gulf Coast, Lower Hudson Valley, New York, Southern Arizona, Pioneer Valley, Massachusetts, and Mount Washington Valley in Maine. If you have friends or family near these seedlings, invite them to join Wild Ones, get involved, and help grow the movement. If you are a partner at large with no chapter within easy reach, contact us to learn about starting a chapter. Wild Ones chapter liaisons are here to support you. Seedlings work towards chartering under a volunteer board of directors, governed by chapter bylaws. In 2024, we celebrated the charter of chapters in Greater Indianapolis, Indiana, North Alabama, Mid-Hudson Valley, New York, Nova, or Northern Virginia, and Miami Valley, Ohio. 4 of our new seedling chapters have already transitioned to chartered chapters, plus the Southern Adirondacks chapter in New York, which was launched last year as a community hub under the Capital Region, New York chapter. In recent years, the Ann Arbor, Michigan, St. Louis, Missouri, Nation's Capital Region, Maryland, Tennessee Valley, and Capital Region New York boards have provided direct support and mentorship for the launch of seedling chapters in their areas. 22 Wild Ones chapters contributed funds to support the growth of seedling chapters through last year's annual appeal. We are eager to facilitate networking and collaboration between our chapters and excited to see these communities unite, grow, and begin their next chapter. Pun intended. Like gardens, chapters are in a constant state of evolution. Last year, we supported leadership transitions and restructuring across several chapters. Carolina Triangle in North Carolina, Black Hills, South Dakota, Columbia Basin, Washington, and DFW Texas chapters all welcomed new leadership. The Joe Davies County, Illinois chapter changed its name to be more inclusive of communities in the tri-state Driftless area. Sadly, we said goodbye to seedlings in Finger Lakes, New York, and northern Utah. Transitions are part of every growing movement. We celebrate the continued energy and renewed leadership these changes bring. On July 23, 1979, Wild Ones held its inaugural meeting and officially chartered its first chapter, the Milwaukee North chapter, originally known as the Wild Ones Garden Club. Inspired by the vision and passion of Lori Otto, our first members were driven by a shared commitment to native plants and natural landscaping. Their dedication laid the groundwork for Wild One's mission and ignited the movement that has since expanded across Wisconsin, the Midwest, and the entire country. Congratulations to the Milwaukee North chapter for 45 years of mission fulfillment. As we reflect on the past year, we acknowledge significant milestones for several other Wild Ones chapters. The Columbus, Ohio, Fox Valley area, Wisconsin, and Rock River Valley, Illinois chapters all celebrated 30 years of service, while the Kalamazoo area, Michigan chapter celebrated its 25th anniversary. These anniversaries are a testament to the enduring legacy and growth of Wild Ones. With each passing year, our chapters continue to inspire, educate, and lead by example, cultivating vibrant spaces that celebrate biodiversity and environmental stewardship. These milestones remind us of the deep roots that sustain our mission and drive us forward, empowering Wild Ones to create lasting change in communities across the nation. Wild Ones chapters are making a meaningful impact in their communities. And this year, 2 chapters received well-deserved recognition for their efforts in promoting native plants and ecological stewardship. The 2024 Excellence in Water Quality Award honored the Ann Arbor, Michigan chapter for their dedication to promoting native plants and improving environmental health. Their impactful projects, like the Burr Park Pocket Forest, have engaged the community in seed collection, native plant cultivation, and habitat restoration, contributing to water quality protection, biodiversity, and sustainable landscapes. The Burr Park Pocket Forest Project is a collaboration between the chapter, the Burr Park Children's Wet Meadow Project, and Citizens Climate Lobby. Following robust site prep, volunteers planted 300 native trees and shrubs in a 2,500 square foot area of Burr Park, using the Miyawaki method to create a fast-growing, ecologically efficient mini forest. The project has drawn significant community interest and will continue to be maintained and monitored for its environmental benefits, including improved soil health, biodiversity, and pollinator support. Also recognized was the Dayton, Ohio area chapter. The Wright Memorial Library in Oakwood, Ohio, celebrated the chapter for their role in installing a native garden on library grounds. The chapter's efforts contributed to the library receiving a beautification award from the city of Oakwood, showcasing the power of native plants creating vibrant and sustainable public spaces. Recognitions like these highlight the dedication of Wild Ones chapters in advancing ecological restoration and community engagement. Through their work, they continue to inspire others to embrace native landscaping as a vital tool for environmental conservation. Not only were chapters recognized for their efforts this past year, but individual members were acknowledged as well. We're proud to highlight the extraordinary work of our members across the country. Jim Brook, a member of the North Oakland, Michigan chapter, received a Community Collaboration Award. Chesapeake Bay, Maryland chapter member Lynn Wheeler was honored as the National Marine Sanctuary's 2024 Volunteer of the Year. Patricia Gibbons, Edward Deal, and Ashley Morrow were all recognized for their local leadership and environmental contributions. Esther Bonney, a member of the Chesapeake Bay, Maryland chapter, was awarded 2 prestigious national awards for her dedication to preserving Native biodiversity and educating communities. At just 17 years old, Esther recognized the detrimental impact of invasive species on local ecosystems. She co-founded Nurture Natives, a nonprofit organization aimed at educating both children and adults about the threats posed by non-native species to agriculture, pollinators, and local habitats. Through initiatives like native plant giveaways across Maryland, Nurture Natives has distributed over 47,000 native seedlings, as well as 550 sapling trees and shrubs, significantly contributing to the restoration of native plant populations. To date, their work has impacted more than 9,000 youth and 50,000 individuals. Their self-published guide, Nurture Natives, a guide to invasive species and their native lookalikes, has been distributed to nurseries across 7 East Coast states, amplifying their educational impact. In recognition of these efforts, Esther, alongside co-founder Samantha Rutherford, was honored with the 2024 President's Environmental Youth Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Esther also received the Gloria Barron Prize for Young Heroes. Esther's story, as well as the stories of many dedicated members who have been recognized this year, reflect the passion, leadership, and dedication our members bring to their communities every day. Wild Ones has proudly welcomed Robin Wall-Kimmerer as a new member, honoring her with a lifetime membership in recognition of her invaluable contributions to the field and her dedication to fostering a deeper, more respectful relationship with the natural world. In March 2024, Dr. Kimmerer shared her knowledge with over 3,000 in-person and online attendees through a presentation on Indigenous wisdom, scientific knowledge, and the teachings of plants at the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. This event was a powerful demonstration of Wild One's mission to promote education, advocacy, and collaborative action. Spearheaded by the Fox Valley Area Wisconsin chapter, the event was a joint effort with Wild Ones National, the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh's Sustainability Institute for Regional Transformations, and their Intertribal Student Council. Renowned for her work integrating Indigenous knowledge with Western science, Dr. Kimmerer shared her insights on the interconnectedness of people and native plants, reinforcing the importance of reciprocity and sustainability in ecological practices. She also underscored the importance of advocacy, encouraging everyone to raise a ruckus on behalf of the plants. To hear more on Wild One's mission pillars, please welcome Sarah Ressing, Education and Program Coordinator.
Thanks so much, Debbie. So what you've just seen, the chapter milestones, new growth, individual recognitions, and all the hard work of our volunteers is what keeps Wild Ones going. These aren't just numbers or names, these are real people making our mission happen on the ground and in their own communities. Our vision of native plants and natural landscapes thriving in every community only becomes a reality because members, chapters, and leaders like you are out there living it every day. At the national level, our role is to support and amplify this impact. Through education, advocacy, and collaborative action, we're helping chapters grow their reach, strengthen their knowledge, and connect with others who care. And I think all of this starts with one of the most powerful tools we have to create lasting change, education. In 2024, Wild Ones chapters organized over 1,900 programs and activities, ranging from workshops and garden tours to plant rescues and public lectures. That's nearly 25,000 volunteer hours dedicated to educating communities about native plants and natural landscaping. More than 168,000 people attended these events, which is 100%, more than 100% increase in over 2023. Accessibility was another clear priority for our chapters, with 74% of events being open to the public and 31% designed with families in mind. We also saw a fourfold increase in events offered in multiple languages. These numbers reflect more than growth. They reflect a movement that's opening its doors to more people and expanding its reach with intention and care. So let's take a look at just a few of the chapter programs that show how Wild Ones is using education to build an inclusive movement. In San Diego, the chapter is reaching out across communities by offering programs in many different neighborhoods and making a real effort to include diverse voices. One standout example is their work with the Ipai Travel Nation, where they helped install a garden focused on indigenous plants. The Central North Carolina chapter hosted a panel about how everyday people can restore ecosystems by rethinking how we care for the land. And finally, the Door Peninsula chapter in Wisconsin hosted a program exploring traditional agricultural practices. The presenters highlighted how indigenous agricultural knowledge continues to shape sustainable practices today. Educational programs like these are rooted in connection to place, to culture, and to each other. And I think that they show how chapters are making native plant education accessible, inclusive, and deeply meaningful. As education and program coordinator, one of my primary goals is bringing new folks and new energy to the native plant movement. Wild Ones programs reflect our values by offering an inclusive community and creating pathways for diverse voices to join and contribute to our mission. Through the long-standing Laureato Seeds for Education program, we continue to support youth-focused projects across the U.S. Last year, the Carolina International School was supported by our Charlotte Piedmont chapter. The chapter provided guidance throughout the application process, and when the school received the grant, members visited and taught every single middle school grade class about native plants. This is exactly the type of local engagement our national programs aim to support, and it's a story we see repeated again and again across our chapters. Furthermore, chapters across the country support school and community gardens, using these spaces as living classrooms that inspire and deepen community connections. For example, the Mountain Laurel chapter leveraged a growing footprint of native plant gardens at the Coogan Farm Nature and Heritage Center, located in Mystic, Connecticut. The chapter is partnering and transforming the site into a hands-on learning hub with projects like outdoor classrooms, food forests, bioswales, educational meadows, and training workshops. Our national reach extends even further with programs like the Wild Ones Journal and through the popular Native Garden Design program, which you've heard about earlier. Digital engagement also flourished with online content like our national webinars generating over 65,000 views on the YouTube channel. 2024 also saw milestones in our growth on social media. We surpassed 18,000 and 12,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram. We also expanded our reach on the Threads and Blue Sky platforms. So like and follow us if you don't already. The Wild Ones blog is another growing part of our educational mission. Our volunteer-driven blog showcases voices from across the country, it builds community, boosts our online visibility, and of course, offers members a powerful platform for national impact. Together, these efforts reflect who we are, a welcoming, mission-driven community where education powers change. And these efforts don't stop with learning, they're a launchpad. Education leads to action, and that action is transforming policy, shifting perspectives, and protecting the landscapes we care about. Let's take a look at how that happens. In the context of Wild Ones' mission, advocacy means empowering people to speak up for native plants, ecological health, and biodiversity. It's about influencing local ordinances, supporting sustainable landscaping practices, and shifting public attitudes so that natural ecosystems are not just protected, but rebuilt and embraced. Advocacy matters now more than ever. As communities face biodiversity loss, climate stress, and invasive species, it's easy for our environmental efforts to get lost in political noise. But Wild Ones offers something different. We're a nonpartisan place for community-driven action. Our members are finding common ground in native plants and turning shared values into local change. Last year, we saw 27 chapters reporting advocacy efforts at the HOA, city, or state levels, and 15 of them reported real results. We're talking about changes to local ordinances, protections for native plantings, and even saving natural spaces. This work shows up in all kinds of ways, with our chapters removing milkweed from noxious weed lists. They pushed for stronger invasive species laws and guided neighborhoods and members through tricky landscaping rules. We also saw members speak at city council meetings, we created resources, and built trust with local officials, all of this making sure our native gardens are supported and protected. As you might have guessed, Wild Ones believes that the most powerful change starts locally. I'll highlight just a few of our impact stories shared by chapters this past year. The Central Wisconsin chapter took advocacy a step further with their Lawn Gone Native program. They partnered with city and nearby university officials and helped residents convert lawns into vibrant native landscapes. The chapter offered support, education, and of course, a push for local ordinances to back this all up. In Kentucky, the Louisville chapter didn't stop after passing a major revision to local weed ordinances. When enforcement began to backslide under a new director, they launched an educational campaign. They met with city officials directly, they trained code officers, and they pushed for better internal processes. All of this effort led to renewed municipal commitment to reevaluate enforcement procedures. And members from the Greater Richmond, Virginia chapter supported an HOA-approved native demonstration garden at the entrance to a local community. This project built trust with hesitant HOA leadership and even brought new members into the chapter. And finally, the Greater King County chapter in Illinois wove advocacy into a full educational series on watershed health, linking native landscapes to dam removal, stream stability, and clean water. As you can see, from driveway beds to city council chambers, our chapters are showing how advocacy, when rooted in education, relationships, and a lot of persistence, can protect natural landscapes and grow our movement. In conclusion, I think education and advocacy are just two halves of the same leaf. Together, they power grassroots change, and they're helping Wild Ones create a movement of native planters growing healthier landscapes. But no leaf grows alone. Collaboration is the stem that connects it all. It supports our local chapters, it links our partners, and it holds up the work we do together. So next, I'll turn it over to our development director, Josh Nelson, who will wrap up our mission reports with a look at a collaborative action.
Thank you, Sarah. As the development director for Wild Ones, I work to secure the resources needed to help our organization grow. And one of the ways that Wild Ones grows is through collaboration. We have seen firsthand that when we come together, we can accomplish far more for our environment than we ever could alone. In 2024, Wild Ones chapters actively engage with over 1,000 mission-aligned organizations, strengthening existing relationships and forming more than 350 new connections. A few great examples of collaborations with local nurseries, landscapers, and native plant advocates included the Arrowhead chapter partnering with Shoreview natives to showcase how native plant installations can enhance both aesthetics and ecology. The Dayton area chapter worked with Native Ohio Plants Nursery and Deeply Rooted Landscapes to explore prairie restoration, tree planting, and sustainable garden design. The Gibson Woods chapter collaborated with Possibility Place Nursery to highlight the importance of plant diversity in the marketplace, and the Habitat Gardening in Central New York chapter introduced members to local growers through an engaging panel discussion. These partnerships not only provided educational opportunities, but also helped connect members with the businesses and experts leading the native plant movement. These collaborations went beyond shared goals. Our chapters directly supported partner organizations contributing over $25,000 to advance initiatives that align with our mission. Through these efforts, they expanded access to native landscaping education, resources, and advocacy in communities nationwide. We are excited to continue growing this network, fostering even more relationships that support our shared vision for a healthier planet. At the national level, 2024 was an exciting year for new collaborations. We were thrilled to welcome 8 new businesses and organizations into our network, including Homegrown National Park, Quiet Communities, Bee-Friendly Gardening, and 1% for the Planet. These partners joined Monarch Joint Venture, 2/3 for the Birds, in providing ongoing mutual support to Wild Ones. We also had the opportunity to collaborate with the Community Canopy Project on an impactful demonstration garden installation and content creation initiative. Additionally, we welcome Bookshop.org, My Home Park, and Crown Bees, joining NDAL as businesses that go above and beyond to provide valuable resources that enhance our programs, services, and member benefits. We also extend our deepest gratitude to Wild Ones Journal sponsors, whose support helps us continue delivering vital information to our community. Their contributions ensure that our members and supporters receive high-quality, evidence-based resources that empower them to make a difference. In addition, over 450 businesses and organizations have stepped up to show their support for Wild Ones by becoming members. Our growing community is the foundation of our success, And this commitment to native landscaping and ecological stewardship strengthens our mission and expands our impact nationwide. At the heart of these collaborations is one of our core values, inclusivity. We're an inclusive community, and we believe that bringing together diverse voices, backgrounds, and perspectives makes us stronger, and that's why we welcome everyone to join us, no matter where they are on their native landscaping journey. We are grateful for the many businesses and organizations taking steps, big and small, to support a healthier planet, and by working together, we can spark conversations, share knowledge, and inspire meaningful change. To all the businesses and organizations that have supported Wildlands, thank you. Together, we're making a difference, and together, we'll continue to grow. As we reflect on 2024 and all that we have accomplished, one thing stands out. Wildlands is powered by its members. Wildlands thrives because of the dedication of those who give their time, knowledge, and passion, whether serving on committees, supporting national programs, judging Seeds for Education applications, designing native gardens, leading webinars, evaluating photo contest submissions, or volunteering at events. Each contribution helps move our mission forward. Our volunteer chapter leaders are essential to Wildlands' success. Through board leadership and committee work, they set the direction for chapter activities, lead programs, and create opportunities to communicate Wildlands' mission at the local level. Together, our members and volunteers are shaping a future where native plants and natural landscapes thrive in every community. As we look ahead to the coming year, we do so with optimism and enthusiasm, knowing that our collective efforts continue to inspire others to join this movement. If you haven't gotten involved, now is the perfect time to contribute your time and talents, whether locally or nationally, and help make a lasting impact. For all that you have done and all that you continue to do, we extend our deepest appreciation. Thank you for being part of Wildlands. Your dedication makes a lasting difference. And now, I'll turn it back over to Jen.
Thanks, Josh. Wildlands' organizational goals will help us measure our impact and ensure the continued growth and success of our mission. First, we are focused on people reached, which includes tracking membership growth, expanding chapters, and connecting new members with our existing community. The more people we reach, the broader the movement for native plants and natural landscapes becomes. Our habitat impact is another key area as our work expands square footage of habitat through individuals' gardens and public spaces. We also aim to measure the collection and distribution of native plant material, such as the number of native plants donated, plants sold, seeds collected, and seeds shared. This initiative ensures that native plants are available to all who wish to create sustainable landscapes. The number of educational events we host will be a vital indicator of our impact. These events help us provide knowledge and resources to individuals and communities, fostering greater awareness and action around native plants. Similarly, advocacy events will reflect our efforts to influence communities, encouraging a shift away from traditional landscaping and towards the adoption of native landscaping practices. Relationships are foundational connections that allow us to grow and work effectively in communities. Measuring our growth through the number of partners, collaborations, and relationships we establish will help us maintain the strength and depth of our network. Our strategic goals will help us chart the course toward achieving Wildlands' vision. Each goal is designed to strengthen our foundation, expand our reach, and ensure long-term impact. First, organizational financial sustainability is key to ensuring that Wildlands can continue its mission without interruption. A stable financial position enables us to invest in the resources, infrastructure, and staff necessary to support our growing network of chapters, members, and initiatives. Second, member and chapter engagement is a critical goal for us. Our chapters and members are the backbone of Wildlands. Engaged chapters are the engine that drives our work at the local level, and empowered members are the advocates who spread the message of native landscaping. This goal ensures that we are creating a thriving community where individuals are not only informed, but actively involved in our mission. Lastly, nationalizing our educational and advocacy programs is essential for expanding our impact. By extending our reach and influence across the nation, we ensure that our educational resources and advocacy efforts are available to the broader audience. This goal will help us build a nationwide movement that champions native plants and natural landscapes, ensuring that our work is felt and supported in communities everywhere. Together, these strategic goals form the roadmap of Wildlands' growth and success, providing the foundation for the work that we do and the future. They reflect our commitment to sustainability, community engagement, and broadening our impact on a national scale. Loris, I invite you to share a few ways that folks watching this can continue spreading the impact of our mission to all communities.
Thank you, Jen. There are so many ways to contribute to the cause. Volunteer with your local chapter. Donate to the home office to support the mission. Include others with a gift membership. It's a gift that nurtures knowledge, connection, and lasting change. Every action, every voice, every choice to support Wild Ones strengthens our mission. Wild Ones is more than an organization, it's a movement. And it's a movement towards healthier landscapes, towards stronger communities, towards a future where beauty and nature coexist at our door. And like any movement, it depends on passionate people like you. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for making a difference.